Yeah, man. Famous cartoonist Art Balthazar. As you see, Abraham Lincoln is with me, and we are watching, and you are watching. Famous cartoonists draw at night. They draw at night by night. We're all here together, man. Buy their comics, buy my comics, shop.
Welcome to Cartoonist by Night. I am your host, Anthony Laatsch. We are joined here by Matt Fife, Troy Dongarra. We have D. Brad Gibson and very special guest, Adam Crohn. Hello, everybody.
What's going on? Thanks for having me.
Hello.
So we are here post-holiday break from Cartoonist by Night. We took an unscheduled, to the audience, unscheduled break. As we went through the holidays, everybody has busy schedules and such. So this is going to be our first episode of a brand new year, 2024. And we had to bring back our superstar ratings machine, D. Brad Gibson. He was the secret weapon that we never knew we needed, and here he is. But the main reason for bringing D. Brad back again is because we have Adam Crohn here, and they have an online interaction that started at Oh Yeah Comics, and definitely with their the Star Wars new comic book day previews and all that fun stuff. So I figured no better way to have Adam Crohn here than to have D. Brad Gibson along with us.
Nice.
Yay!
It's like, yeah, it's like a comforting, like, you know, in a foreign situation, and there's like a nice. Is it Linus with the blanket?
Yes.
Yeah,
Linus,
security blanket.
So D. Brad's my blue blanket. My blue Linus blanket.
D. Brad Van Pelt. There we go. So
yeah, I like it.
Yeah. So what we're going to do here is we do for Cartoonist by Night episodes. We won't have any specific topic because we're going to, almost Adam Crohn's going to be our topic for the most part. We're going to filter in some questions for everybody. We're going to basically just kind of draw whatever we want, talk about whatever we want. And so what we're going to do is just go around the horn here, and let's kick it off with D. Brad. You're starting with, looks like there is some scribbles going on your page there. What do you have in mind for drawing today?
Well, I was going to do a turkey.
There we go.
Dang, I haven't thought about that
Yeah. Oh well.
Years.
One of my goals this year is to finally start putting my characters into comic book form, and I put them in comic strip form many years ago, and tried to sell it to comic syndicates, but never got any takers. And so then I put them away for a while, and then I think it was when Art was Balthazar was repurposing some of his old stuff to make his Yogg's comics. I thought, I could take my old characters and repurpose them into adventures. And so these are characters I've been in my life a long time. So they've gone through different changes. And then when they're finished, you'll see that some of my influence comes from the Muppets. They have very Muppet-like characteristics. And so, yeah, so I don't really have names I like for them yet, because the names are kind of like names I made up when I was a kid. And I kind of, when you're a kid, you come up with kind of Lammy Lamb and things like that, so maybe.
I think you should stick with those names. Those are usually the best names. I mean, look at the names that Art comes up with. Give me a break.
Right, yeah.
You don't want to overthink
I don't know if this guy will. I don't know if he'll appreciate being called Lammy Lamb. He's not even a lamb. He's not even a lamb. But yeah. I almost drank pencils.
Man, so early in the show, and he's already drinking the art supplies. So
Yeah, okay.
all
So
right,
that's what I'm drawing characters of my own.
there we go. Let's jump over to Matt Fife. What's on your drawing board tonight?
I have to follow D Brad.
Yes.
He's so good at this. I am trying to finish up the script for issue 5 of Happy Astronaut. I have a few pages that are giving me problems, so I'm going to go through and thumbnail the whole thing and see if that can help me work through my block, my issues.
That's
There you go.
awesome.
Oh, wish me
And
luck.
Happy Astronaut is co-created with Matt Fife and Matt Rogers. Matt Rogers confirmed that he won't be able to join us tonight. He's got some family stuff to attend to, but he wanted me to share this message that A, he says hi, and also he's still on the fence. So Adam Crohn, Matt Rogers, still on the fence.
That's awesome.
Is that something you can say?
I hope so.
No,
Matt, no, definitely, Matt.
Explain.
Matt Rogers is always on the fence, D. Brad. You know that from all the
Getting
shows.
into trouble. He's in trouble on the fence. Okay.
Yeah. He rides that. He's always just like, it's like, right. What are you saying, man? What are you saying?
Right. I got in trouble once from you for saying Google it when I meant I'm Googling it right now because I was looking up the answer for you.
I can tell you why that's a thing with me. I'll tell you. That's a story, but the short end of it is I got bit by a squirrel once, and when I went into the ER, I said, do I have rabies? Am I gonna get rabies? The doctor said, I don't know. Did you Google it? Like dead serious. And I was like, what? Is that where we're at? What am I paying you for? I don't know. Yeah. So don't get bit by a squirrel.
Dr. Google.
No, I will not.
Dr. Google could be one of the names for characters here tonight. Dr.
Yeah. Google. Oh man, that's good.
Who's that black, is it black pumpkin that you have there?
So yeah, a friend of mine, she goes by the name of Lavi. She had some art alongside myself, Troy, Matt, and Adam in Brian Lynch's pumpkin book.
Yeah.
So yeah, she has some pumpkin stickers, and I threw it on the drawing board here. So I'm going to show off what I'm going to do. A quick little story leading up to what I'm doing. Brenna Thumler is one of my favorite creators out there. She is the writer and artist of the trilogy Sheets, Delicates, and the recent release Lights. And I have this commission sketch where she does these lunchroom doodles. And I'm like, that's such a cool, interesting idea. And this is an original art that I got. And I got to choose from a menu of like a main course and my side and my dessert and my drink and everything. So I wanted to try to think of something cool that was kind of food related. And I'm a big fan of Selena Gomez, and she has a cooking show on Max called Selena Plus Chef. So I haven't posted any of these online yet. So this is an exclusive for Cartoonist by Night. But over the last week or so, I've been doing, so I did one with just Selena, but I wanted
to like this cover.
Thank you. Yeah, I was pretty happy with this one. This one will not be for sale because I'm keeping that one. But I'm going to do Selena plus Chef, but I'm going to draw in a different chef. So I've already done Selena plus Chef from South Park. And then I also did Selena plus Chef Smurf here.
Yeah.
And then I did Selena plus Bob Belcher from Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
I also did Selena plus the Swedish Chef, of course.
Nice. Yeah. I like that.
So then tonight I get pencils for Selena plus Pop Tate from Archie Comics of Pop's Chocolate Shop. And then if I get ambitious and do a second one, I have her with Chef Tony and Chef Joe from Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah.
So yeah. So this is a Selena plus Chef series that I've been working on. So awesome. Yeah, that is what I'm going to do for this episode here.
Nice.
Let's jump over to our guest here, Adam Crohn. What do you have in mind for what you want to draw here tonight?
So I'm guessing you can still see my second window there. I drew this over the summer. It's Jabba's palace and his denizens and everybody that was in there. And I've been wanting to I was gonna do Copics, but I think I'd run out of Copics, so I'm gonna do watercolor tonight on this. And I'm new to watercolors, at least like since preschool or whatever, new. So I've been experimenting with them and really enjoying them. I don't know if you can tell, but it's just got like it's got everybody I could think of that was kind of like more mainstream, or at least had like a Kenner figure.
Yeah.
Or a Kenner figure I could afford or find. So there's no like Yak Face or anybody like that. Yeah, so I'm gonna color that.
That's awesome. And let's jump over to Troy here. Do you have any idea what you're going to work on for tonight?
I grabbed a stack of sketch covers. I'm just gonna draw some characters on sketch covers.
Cool.
Awesome.
So yeah, we'll just dive right in. Feel free to start drawing, and we'll start talking. I'll have questions that I will filter in as we go. We'll learn a lot about Adam Crohn here. During this time, we'll see D. Brad probably draw 15 characters. Probably you'll probably get 15, maybe 40, 45 drawings in. Somewhere around
there. For sure, 6.
Yeah, when I put together in post, I put all our finished or work in progress art into the post credits and everything with their social media. And what D. Brad sent me like so many drawings in the last one, I'm like, all right, I have to extend the song. I have to like, I had to like rework the music and it was great. I was happy to because there's a lot of great stuff in there. But I'm like, man, he's really showing us up here. So,
well, they weren't completely finished drawings, so like I didn't ink them or anything. So if I inked it, then it would have taken longer.
Sure. All right, so we can just dive in here and everyone get to work. Of course, the first pen mark I try to make is something that I think that pen is dead. So let me try a different one. So as we hang out and talk here, let's get to know Adam Crohn, not only for us that are here, but also for everybody viewing, whether they're watching us on YouTube, which is the primary source of finding Cartoonist by Night, or if you are located in Beverly, Massachusetts, and you are watching us through bevcamp.org. Hello, everybody in Beverly.
Hey.
Hello, Beverly.
Yes.
Beverly.
So Adam, let's start from the beginning on where your creative venture took you. Did it start as a kid? Did art start from a early age, or is that a modern day thing? Just kind of let everybody know where you started with art.
Sure. Very early. I have pictures of my brother on one of those like weird wooden toilets when he was like 2 or 3 years old, probably 2 years old, reading a comic book. And my mom used to like, I always tell this story, but my mom used to, that's how she potty trained us, was bribing us with comics. And that kind of like sparked the whole thing, I guess. But from there, I just love drawing. I'd always take like whatever art classes I could in school, grade school and junior high and all that. And I guess my thing when I was younger was emulating the artists that I liked. So there's a lot of like, like Neil Adams Batman drawings, and just like I never really had Rob Liefeld, Cable and Wolverine and stuff. I never really developed my own style until this summer. When I was, like my goal, similar to what D-Brad said, this year, for years, my goal has been to make a children's book series, not a comic, but like a picture book.
Yeah.
About my animals, about Egum and Mooj before him, and now I have a 3-legged cat named Mother Fluffer. So the three of them and their adventures, and I've got it all in my head. There you go, Mooji Goom.
Oh yeah,
there they are. So I've got it all in my head, and it's just a matter of having like the quiet to formulate the story, even though it doesn't need to be too intricate. But I do want it to convey like some modern themes and some like a message to kids, some good messages and stuff. Um, so that's my goal for the year. Who knows if it'll happen, but I finally got my art to a point where I feel comfortable doing the art for this book. Which obviously your art doesn't need to reach any bar other than the one that's in your head.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I'm finally at a point where I feel confident enough to draw it as well as write it because I want it to be just my own thing since the material is so personal to me. So that's kind of where I'm at presently, and I've been doing a lot of um, drawing them, but then also, and I've never really put words to it in like a cartoon form until recently. Um, but I've also done like some like for Christmas I did a bunch of paintings of family that has animals for them, stuff like that. So more like realist, like whatever you call it, life painting stuff, um, which isn't necessarily my style, but um, it's this is the first time in my life that I've been a student of art. I've been watching like a lot of YouTube tutorials and artists that I like and artists that I follow on Instagram, not just looking at the pretty pictures, but looking at like how it's constructed and learning about shading and learning about highlighting. And a big thing that I struggled with, even on this Java painting here, I made this before I kind of hit that, like broke through that wall. And everybody in this picture is facing front. But uh, since I did this, I've been able to like see a position in my head, a figure's position, and for the most part, get it on paper. Um, I drew that the other day when they released Steamboat Willie. And so that's
Oh
Egum and
yeah.
Mooj and Mother Fluffer, just kind of like, you know, welcoming him to the mess. But yeah, I've really started to like learn some things. I've still got a lot to learn, obviously, and I will for the rest of my life. But it's been a cool 6 months art wise.
And since we're on that topic and you're talking about your art styles and your characters and such, let's do our first plug for Adam Crohn. Let's check out these prints. So you recently made some prints, and I was very eager to make a purchase. So we've got a spider punk here.
Ooh,
Want to talk about this piece at all?
I did that. So that's kind of like what I was saying about like there's my style when I draw my animals, and then there's the style when I draw something else that's not my own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I had just watched the new movie, the new Spider-Verse movie, and I love the first one, and I felt like they raised the bar on the second one.
yeah.
Um, character development so good, and Spider Punk was my favorite, I think, out of the bunch, and I love Daniel Kaluuya that plays him, and so I wanted to draw him, and because he's such a mess of a visual, like there's so much going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that was a really good like challenge to do that. And yeah, just kind of a lot of experimentation in that piece, I guess. A lot of fun.
Cool, cool. So yeah, I will show off the other ones. I'll filter them throughout the episode, but I just
Sure.
start off with that one. And if people wanted to purchase some prints and other work, you have a shop on Big Cartel. Is that correct?
That's correct. Bigcartel.com Adam Crohn or adamcrohn.bigcartel.com.
Whatever it is, people are
Yeah,
seeing the link on the screen and in post too,
cool.
so they're seeing
I
the,
appreciate it.
the
I
correct
appreciate
version.
that. Yeah, it's for the last 10 years I've been a toy designer, and so the stuff that's in my store is a mix of it's also art, but I don't know how you delineate between toy design art and drawing art other than to say there's drawing art and there's toy design art. So there's a lot of different things in there. My prints are in there and stickers and a few figures that I've made. So it's a weird hodgepodge.
Cool. All right, so I'm going to jump into our questions here, and we'll return back to Adam as we go along this episode. But I did queue up some questions. I reached out to some of our fans, some of the people that, some of our frequent question askers. And this one here is from somebody named Brian Lynch from Hot Wing of Justice over on Instagram. He asked, what is your favorite public domain steamboat character? Now let's go around the horn here. Troy, do you have a favorite public domain steamboat character out there?
Steampunk Willie. That's my favorite.
As you say that, people are now seeing Steampunk Willie up on the screen as you made that awesome drawing. And a couple of us from Cartoonist by Night took a stab at our version of Steamboat Willie and such. So let's go over to D. Brad here. Who is your favorite public domain steamboat character? Is that what it was?
Yeah. Steam Bath Willie.
Beautiful. Let's go over to Matt Fife. Do you have a favorite?
I don't.
You don't. Maybe by the end of the episode, you'll find one. You'll come up with one.
Maybe, or maybe I won't.
Hey,
We'll see.
people are gonna have to tune in to find out if you're gonna have an answer or not. How about you, Adam? Favorite public domain steamboat character?
Wet Willie is my favorite.
There we go.
Yeah. Oh, I hate those things. Oh,
Well, it's Adam's favorite. It's D. Brad's least favorite. So,
no, I mean the real thing.
oh, the real one.
Yeah. It's a tie actually between Wet Willie and Steamboat Brian.
And just because I had it within arm's reach, I have Steamboat Wilma is what I'm calling her. So
Nice.
I was thinking about what to do on January 1st when a version of Mickey Mouse, the Steamboat Willie debut specific version went into public domain, blah blah blah. And I'm like, well, everyone's drawing a version of Mickey, but Minnie, that Minnie exists within that cartoon was also part of the public domain. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to draw a version of Minnie, and it was originally going to be black, white, and gray until I got to I was laying down some of the background for the gray, and then that gray marker that I used started running out, and I'm like, oh crap. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just do a mixture of black and white and color, and I just kind of just whatever I wanted to kind of make it artsy and everything. So I just called her Steamboat Wilma, and that is that. So
Like it.
Nice.
my favorite. All right. So thank you to Brian Lynch from Hot Wing of Justice over on Instagram for that awesome question.
Thanks, Brian.
Uh,
I like
Oh,
that.
if I could interject real quick before you leave the topic.
please.
Was it Monday night? I showed up for my first drink and draw at Oh Yeah Comics,
Yes.
and Art and I were spitballing Steamboat Willie names, to use that we could use to not get sued, and I think the best one we came up with was either Steamboat Willis Drummond or what was the other one? Something to do with Willard, like the guy with the rats,
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, there were some good ones that we came up with. I think he wrote them all down.
That's awesome. And since Brian, he sends us some questions, and he will be a future guest on Cartoonist by Night. He released what he called the Project Pumpkin rather, and taking his Jokin, the pumpkin character, and putting together an awesome art book. And we've talked about this in the past, but since Adam Crohn is here, I wanted to go to his page here, and let me just kind of zoom out there as much as I can to kind of show off the Pumpkin Club. So that was Adam. It was awesome to not only share this art book along with Matt Fife and Troy and Jake Cosley and Scoot McMahon, Lavi, and a bunch of awesome cartoonists. But yeah, Adam Crohn was in there as well. So yeah, it's a perfect time to show this off.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Brian's like I don't know what you call him. Like he's just like this facilitator, you know.
He's a pioneer in whatever.
He's a pioneer, yeah.
He's a maverick.
Maverick, I like that.
And yeah, so
Blazes trails.
that covers one of my plugs that I always have set aside here to kind of put them throughout the show. Cool, cool. Let's check in on some drawings here. Troy, how you doing over there? What you're working on?
I started to draw Dark Side, and then thought it would be funnier to have Thanos on a superpower thing.
Nice.
So drawing Thanos on here.
I was gonna say I thought that looked more like Thanos, but yeah, I like that little bait and switch in a way.
Yeah.
Nice. And how you doing over there, D. Brad?
Let me see. Get the right angle. Yeah, there.
Nice.
I love the expressions and just like when I was watching your work and watching it through editing and stuff like that, it just I'm amazed and impressed by your work, and I love the expressions coming through.
Yeah, expressions are I learned a lot from if you want to get an expression right, you look at yourself and you make that face.
Hmm.
And you kind of learn how your eyes go and your eyebrows go and then you of course exaggerate it and simplify it.
That's awesome. I love that.
That's it.
I'll,
Don't we all kind of make the face that we're drawing though when we draw? I know my kids, when they see me draw, they are always like, I know exactly what you're drawing because I can see it on your face what you're doing.
Oh yeah, I
That's
wonder
awesome.
if I was doing that. I don't know. Yeah, I think I was smiling when I was drawing. Yeah.
Well, as a prime example of kind of using yourself as a reference and drawing your own expressions, that's a great promo for my first official commission piece where I drew this muscular snowman.
Oh
And
Yeah.
yeah.
like I just kind of took that a selfie and I just kind of went off of that and I'm like, you know what? That's what I came up with. So I 100% relate to that advice.
You're jacked, dude.
Yeah.
Jack Frost.
Yeah, I like that.
Jacked Frost.
Jacked Frost.
I did all like so I'll say this. My first convention table in September at Mighty Con Milwaukee. My first customer was a guy named Mike. He was a complete stranger. He came and bought an awesome Harley Quinn print. I say it's awesome because I drew it. I'm just saying he's awesome too for buying it. But I'm just like, hey, you're my first customer. It's first time doing this, and then he followed the social medias. I've seen his likes throughout the past couple months, and he reached out to me on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve day, and he had asked. He's like, hey, are you able to do you want to take a commission? Do you take commissions? And it's something that I don't think I was ever really prepared for. Like I don't publicly advertise it, and I wasn't sure if I was at a level. I had one person ask me at my second convention, but I just was very honest, being like, yeah, I don't think I'm at that level yet to concentrate while also like engaging and selling and handling money and things like that. So, but he said that he has an inside joke or a joke that he shares with his daughter about what do you call a muscular snowman? And it's the abdominal snowman.
Ooh.
And he goes, "Would you be able to, want to draw a muscular snowman?" I'm like, you know what? This is something I would have fun drawing. So then I once again got out the selfie stick outside and took this photo. And but yeah, so I think I'm gonna have to call it Jacked Frost now that I didn't have an official name for it. But so yeah,
I like it.
that was that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, and I was pretty happy with it, but then I reached out to Mike just being like, well, here's what I came up with. I don't know if this is what you were thinking. And he, quote unquote, he said it was perfect with several exclamation points.
Oh,
So
good.
thank you, Mike, if you are watching. That was awesome being my first customer at an art table. And I guess technically my first commissioned piece.
Well done.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you. And with that, I am retiring. So going on, going out on a high note.
Goal. That's your goal.
Yep. Yeah, we're talking about goals in 2024 and stuff. So that reminds me that we do have a question related to that, and I think let me scroll through here because I think it was let's see here. Here we go. It was also from Brian Lynch. So Hot Wing of Justice over on Instagram. He goes, what is one thing you hope to accomplish this year? We did hear from Adam and D. Brad kind of talking about their outlook going into this year and, during their character, both of them talking about, creating their own characters and putting them out there and putting them into books and things like that. Let's jump over to Troy. What is one thing you hope to accomplish in the year 2024?
I'm really not prepared to answer that, Anthony. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Let's jump over to Fife now. You're here. You're talking about what you're working on with plotting. So at the time of this recording, we have 3 full issues of Happy Astronaut that are available through Keenspot Entertainment, keenspotshop.com. Reach out to your local comic book shop and check it out on your preferred online retailer. But we have
Your local LCS.
Yes, yes. And we know that comics in beautiful downtown Skokie, which is probably the reason why we're all together here today, through Art and Franco and Joe Crohn and obviously Adam Crohn, Joe and Adam, with all their awesome videos and stuff, and we'd all be participating in. That's why we're all here. That's why Cartoonist by Night exists, basically, because
Awesome.
all of the creative energy that comes from Art and Franco and the All Yeah brand. But Fife, that was a long way to ask you the question on your outlook for 2024, not only what you're currently working on, but everything else. What are you thinking about?
What am I thinking about? Well, right now I'm making this little book and I'm going to draw out Happy Astronaut number 5, to, it'll be stick figures. Nothing exciting, but I'm trying to figure out the weak spots in the script and figure out what needs fixed. For the rest of the year, I hope to do we're moving to quarterly for Happy Astronaut, so hopefully by January we're working on issue number 9. I think that's what it'll be, issue 9.
Okay.
And so that'll be 4 scripts handed over to Rogers, and I hope to make other comics with other people.
Very cool.
Awesome.
I just started school too, which is weird. So that'll be taking up a lot of my time, but I'm hoping I'm really good at time management and can work, father, husband, make comics, and go to school.
What school, or what are you doing?
I decided to become a teacher.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to become a happy astronaut. I thought you were going to astronaut school.
That'd be nice. I think that's really expensive and just for kids.
Oh, sure. Okay. Or just then if you hear something on the radio or something, if anybody says, "Hey, you want to become an astronaut?" You're working a crappy job or something.
Oh yeah.
That might
I
be
heard that broadcast.
What are you teaching, Matt?
I'm not teaching anything now. I just started like this week, but I plan to be a math teacher.
Awesome.
I was going to go for English because I like writing and stuff, but then I realized like writing's my pleasure and I don't really want to mix it up or whatever.
Sure.
And math's kind of easy, so I'll teach math.
Cool.
Good for you that you believe math to be kind of easy.
Well, I realize it's just patterns. You figure out the patterns, the formulas, and it just works every time. And I won't have new stuff to learn every year. Right? Is that how math works?
Yeah.
Sure.
It's constant.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
I'll say yes.
Please tell me I'm right.
Hey, Matt, you are right.
Cool. Thank you.
As I look forward to 2024, I did 2 conventions in 2023, which is something I honestly had never thought I would do. But with the encouragement of Art Baltazar and Joe Crone with my Gucci Nana pinup and making a print, and then the invite from creative partner and friend David Cloyd from Crimson Cowl Media, and sharing some table space as we advertise our stuff. It turned into an interesting experiment. And obviously, the invite that I got from Troy to host a drawing show based off of an idea and a name that he had come up with, Cartoonist by Night. All of
Good
that
name.
stuff, all of that stuff kind of turned into 2024 now being like, all right, I want to set up an art table at least once a month somewhere. And so I have one in January. The information will be either at the beginning or the end of the show. I'll also talk about it here, but Comic Verse, which is in New Berlin, Wisconsin, in the Milwaukee area on January 28th. I believe it's from 10 to 3. Admission is only $4, and kids 12 and under are free. And they mostly do like comic book vending, old comic books, toys, collectibles, and such. But they do say that they do tend to have an artist or two. So this is my first time doing a convention with them. And I'm either going to be the only artist, which could play in my favor of like, hey, here's something different. Or it could go the opposite way where people are like, well, we don't want any of this. We want, old, Daisy Duck comic books or something, and which is
Oh
fine
yeah.
too. But I'm excited for the experiment and everything. So I have that one. I've got a Mighty Con booked for February, and then I'm looking into March and beyond to kind of just find any little pop up location and just basically try to do a table once a month for 2024.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I like that.
How far ahead do you have to book?
Well, with this one, I just happened to see a Facebook ad get filtered because I wasn't familiar with Comic Verse. So for the one that's coming up, I literally just signed up for it the other day at the time of this recording. Um, so I think a lot of these smaller ones, they probably have availability for people to jump in, but I'm not going to do anything big. Like if I were to do a fan expo, um, some artist friends of mine and probably closer friends to Adam, but Chris O'Connell
Oh
and
yeah.
um,
Oh yeah, man.
his art name is slipping me at the time. His creative partner that he
It's
worked.
oh, Ryan Villa.
Yeah, yeah. The Ville artist, however
Yep.
you pronounce that. Um, so like they share a table at Fan Expo. I think they've done that for a handful of years in Chicago. Um, so that's something that if I reached out to David Gloyd from Crimson, that I'm not sure if that's something he would be interested in. But I don't want to, C2E2 is something that's, you know, uh, way too expensive, and it's too early if I were to say, hey, I want to do C2E2. That just seems like a big loss of money for someone at my status. But um, so yeah, I'm basically just looking for like when the weather's nice and looking at like flea markets and little, even if a coffee shop offers like a little setup table, anywhere where I could just throw my art there and say, hey, anyone want to buy a sketch of Selena Gomez and Pop Tate from Archie Comics? Because I'm going to guarantee that nobody else has been drawing this. I'm confident to say that I'm
I
reaching a
think you're
brand.
probably right.
Yeah, probably.
So yeah, I think
That's
that's
awesome.
I have some other goals and such, but I'm going to take some advice from Joe Quesada, who he says that he never talks about anything until he can officially talk about it. Like if he's working on a book or an album or whatever he's doing, he goes, "I'm not talking about anything until it's a thing." So I'm gonna take his advice on some other background things that are in the works as well. Cool, cool.
All right.
I like it.
Cool.
Adam, how you feeling with your watercolors and your progress over there?
Uh, it's coming. Like I said, it's experiment. I doused the entire thing in like a Java yellow. Is that a color? It's got to be a color.
It is now.
It is
Um,
now.
Yeah.
Sounds like a color to me.
So,
Sounds
and then
gross.
I'm just kind of like, I think I'm attacking. I don't know why I chose the Jawas first to give them a little color, and now I'm doing the Gamorrean guards. But I know on the camera it looks pretty washed out, but it's darker than it appears. But it's coming along.
Cool, cool.
It's just fun. Like it's it's relaxing watercolor more than any of the toy design, drawing. I love it all, but something about watercolor, it's just like there's no. I think it's because you can make mistakes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and not only can you recover from them, but also they fit the piece, sometimes.
Yeah.
So
And it's not something you have to get done all at once.
true.
Sometimes you need it to dry for a bit too,
Absolutely. Yeah.
and then go back to it.
I like it. So talking with Adam some more, you've mentioned toy design. Kind of want to talk about that and kind of where the passion came from and just your whole, passion for action figures and favorites and kind of give a crash course to everybody here on who Adam Crohn is as a toy designer.
Uh, so we all played with toys, right?
Oh yeah.
And I'm guessing we're all somewhere in the 80s and 90s kids, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm 70s, 80s kid.
Okay, right on. This is good stuff. 70s that good
So
stuff.
old.
So toys, are are a lifeline of mine, and you can't see it in the picture, but like on this side of me is just like insanity shelves of 80s, my 80s collection. Over there is my Star Wars wall, and it's just I sleep on toys. It's insane. But so yeah, as a kid, I was very lucky. I had a great childhood. Um, and lots of toys. Uh, but I put all that away around junior high, I guess, when I got into comic books a lot, and then music and girls and stuff like that. So a lot of music. Joe and I were in a band, and then I kind of when I turned 35, I remember the day like it wasn't on my birthday, but it was that year. Something I think I joined uh, I didn't join Instagram. There was something that brought Battle Beasts back into my life. The Hasbro toy with the change stickers like firewood water. Um, I saw a picture of one that I used to have as a kid, and I was like, oh man. And I went on eBay and bought it, and it just like blew my brain open in this like nostalgic craziness. And I'm probably the most nostalgic person you'll ever meet. It I have like that gold Johnson and Johnson baby shampoo in my shower that like our moms used to use on us. And when I take a shower, I pop it open and just smell it. And I'm just like, it's time travel.
It's an original. It's an original one.
It's a new one. They still sell it, but it's like a
Oh,
big
okay.
it's a big bottle of it.
Okay.
And I don't use it for anything but the smell.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
So
You
anyway,
know, you do know that this is like recorded and going to be posted online, yeah?
Does future
yeah,
Anthony need to do anything here?
future Anthony help. No, no, that's fine. So then sometime around like 2010 or so, again, I was back into collecting toys a little bit, and then um, on I don't know what I was looking for, but on Google Images I found this picture of it was a custom icon, the DC character icon
Okay.
Yeah.
from Milestone, and
Yep.
it was made by Loose Collector Dave, who's a if you don't know Loose Collector, look him up because Dave is an awesome guy, and he's been a mentor in a lot of ways for me over the years, and he's hands down I think, the best custom action figure creator out there. And now he's kind of like elevated, he's brought it to a whole other level. But it was his figure, and I didn't realize it was a custom at first. I thought it was, and I was desperately trying to find where I could buy it. And then I found out it was a custom, and I was like, wow, somebody made this out of, parts and pieces and
Yeah.
sculpt and all that stuff. And it had one of those like old school like McFarlane Spawn capes that was just like super extravagant but
Awesome.
plastic. And he had used that in it, so it just looked amazing. And I was like, all right, I want to make something. And the first figure I made was just a kit bash of Aquaman, because at the time DC Universe Classics didn't have like a traditional Aquaman figure with like the green speedos and then the orange and that. So I took a few of them, heated them up, popped them apart, put them back together, and didn't have to sculpt or paint anything. And I had my Aquaman that I wanted, like a 6-inch articulated one.
Mm-hmm.
And that just kind of like, I was like, oh, this is so cool. And so the first one that I made that was like, that I sold after I did that, I stopped by, I was living in Charlotte, North Carolina at the time at my parents. And I stopped by my local LCS and bought a Deadpool um, Marvel Select figure, a little taller than the Legends.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, Rick Remender's Uncanny X-Force was going on, and that, phenomenal series, if you haven't read it. And Deadpool was in the white costume, and there were no toys of him at the time, so I decided to paint this guy white and um, make my own Uncanny X-Force Deadpool. And I did it. It was the first time I ever like sculpted. I sculpted his belt, and I had to redo it so many times because I kept sticking my thumb in it by accident. Um, but I think I paid $20 for the figure, and it was, when it was done, I put it on eBay. It sold for $35, and I made like $10 after all the fees. And I was like, whoa, people wanted to, like, somebody wants to buy a thing that I made.
That's awesome.
And that was the beginning of like AC Toy Design. And it just snowballed from there, to the point where it was paying my bills for a while. Um, and since then, that's kind of evolved into from custom action figures to like actual designing toys. A lot of like a lot of stuff right now that I've been trying to like experiment with. Like, I don't know if you guys follow Death by Toys, Dan Polydoris, he's a good friend of mine. Um, there's a niche within the custom toy world that does these like carded, um, kind of tongue-in-cheek figures and stuff. So like I got a couple here, but I did there's a horror movie called They Follow,
Mm.
or It Follows, and it's got a sequel coming out called They Follow. So I made these um, custom quote unquote action figures. There's actually nothing in the bubbles because the entity is invisible.
Oh, no.
so 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 I did like the graphic design of the cards, carded it the full thing. Um, and I think you guys might have seen my Nick Sant Star Wars figures, maybe. That was the first carded that I did. So I've been trying to like branch out and do different things. Some things land with the audience, some don't. But I'm always working on some kind of, I mean, I've got so many commissions that, have been paid for, and I need to get them finished and out the door. So I'm always working on something as far as that goes. And I love it. I mean, I love it. It's turning into more of a hobby because it doesn't, the pandemic really uh, kind of messed up the business side of it. And so at the moment I'm pivoting, and I'm also focusing more on drawing and painting and stuff like that. So, but
And
I'll always do it. I love it. So,
and you are on Patreon, so if people want to join in on the adventures and the
yeah,
podcast and everything that you do,
great.
got a Patreon page.
Patreon.com/Adam Crohn, Crohn. That's me. And I do a podcast on there We just hit 100 episodes a couple months ago, so I'm actually going to record 102 tomorrow. And so, you join up, you get that, you get access to like all my behind the scenes stuff and tutorial articles, and it's just a really cool community. Anthony, you're on there, and I appreciate that.
Yes.
And more than anything, the toy community, whether it's my Patreon, AC Toy Design on Instagram. I also have an 80s account. Mom gave them away on Instagram. It's all the toy community is such a great, like, because it's so positive, number one. And I think it's positive because we're all bonding over things that we loved as kids. And when we were that age and we were kids and we were playing with these toys, um, it was nothing but fun. And so the toy community as adults now it's such a cool community. It really is. Um, One that I'm, super appreciative of, and I have met some awesome people. I mean, I wouldn't be sitting here, if not for the toy community, even though we're drawing.
I'm going to jump over to our questions that we received. This one is from my brother Adam, who does sports card art. You can check out his stuff on, let me just double check that his website is actually the full name, because I think it is here. LaatschStacks.com, LAATSCH, Stacks. And he does this card art, and I can, just because I have it right here, he's got this Hank Aaron here where he cuts up trading cards and makes collages and such. And yep, I'll just go down the line here just because he has got some Milwaukee Bucks stuff. He's got a lot of baseball. There's a Bob Uecker, Robin Yount. He actually got to meet Robin Yount, had him sign the original. But if you
That's
go
awesome.
to LaatschStacks.com, you can buy some high quality prints and stickers of what he's been putting out. But he asks the question, how's Elvis, and have you seen him lately?
Ghostbusters, nice. He stole my question, man.
Yeah.
Every time we have a guest on Death by Podcast, I always ask him that.
Well, let's start with you then. Let's turn that into now. Let's make it more topical on the Elvis movie. Is anybody like an Elvis super fan? And we'll start off here. Anyone like a real huge Elvis fan here?
And not say I am.
I was growing up.
Yeah.
And I could do a pretty good impersonation of him.
All right, you got to do it now.
Yeah.
I was about to say, that's you can't say that and not do it.
And then, well, I got to practice it. It's been a while, but I do have it recorded of me singing Blue Christmas.
Really? Jeez.
I could send it to you. Here's the.
Yeah, that might be our credits. I don't know what D Brad's like taking over the show here. He keeps like having all like changing our post credit songs and like showing off all these talents that he has. Like he's
bonus scene at the end.
Has anyone seen the Elvis movie that the Austin Butler that I think it's like 12 hours long or something?
I have not yet seen it.
Oh, that I was excited to see it, and then I did see the runtime, so I didn't go to the theater, but I think it's on one of the platforms that I subscribe to. So I
just came on Netflix here.
Is that where it? Okay, yeah, I may.
I'm never gonna watch something that long.
How long is it?
You're never gonna watch that. Art Balthazar never gonna watch that.
Right. In the words of Art Balthazar, I'm never gonna watch that.
I'll probably turn it into a mini series or something, but
yeah.
How long is it actually?
I think it's 3 hours.
Oh, okay.
I think it's end game length because I think it it brings in all the storylines and it kind of brings all the franchises together in the Elvis verse.
There's an Elvis verse.
I would assume for 3 hour movie, they're tying in all the ABC TV shows that tied into it. The Netflix shows and getting all the fan theories out there and what everyone's going to think about and what's going to
happen. Bubba Hotep in there.
Bubba Hotep. Bubba Hotep.
But yeah, that is that's the best way I can turn Adam's my brother Adam's question into a question for the panel there. So cool,
All
cool.
right, I think I'm done with this one.
All right, let's see it.
Thanos on superpowers.
That's awesome.
I think
If I was better at lettering, I would write some sort of a word balloon gag there, but
What would you
um,
say?
I don't know. I hadn't thought of it. I feel like there's something like
oh,
some sort of low-hanging fruit there just waiting for me to pluck it, but I just can't think of it right now.
oh snap. Um,
Yeah.
uh, I think Thanos and his gloves, whether it's the Infinity Gauntlet or not, I think is definitely something that's in Troy's wheelhouse of like you're very good with like, big mitts,
Yeah.
big fists and stuff like that. So I think Thanos works great with your style. So
I draw Fife on a regular basis, just
banana hands.
banana hands. Yeah.
Explain this, banana hands.
Go
I have
ahead,
really
banana
big
hands.
hands.
Say it again,
I have
fight.
really big hands. I don't know if you can tell like on the screen, but and I had a friend that called me banana fingers, and it
Oh,
turned into banana hands. And
okay.
And for those like it's not an optical illusion, but Fife is 1 foot tall. So when you put that in perspective and know that his hands are big,
it is true. I am very short.
Are you really? I
uh,
didn't know that.
for
No,
the
I'm not.
context for the context of the hand joke, yes.
I
Yeah,
do okay.
me and Fife we met in person, and I think you were taller than I expected, and I think
Okay.
Rogers is taller than you. Is that correct?
Yeah, by a
That's
few inches, I think.
that's a perfect plug for something that I drew a while back. I was in a real Peanuts craze, and I forget where it started. I think it was Troy that recommended to draw all of us as Peanuts characters. I think you were the one that said it originally. So I started with myself here. I want to take my thumb off myself. So I'm like, you know what? I think this is what I would look like in a Charles Schultz, Peanut style.
Yeah.
Usually wearing a black hoodie of sorts, and you know, there we go. And then thanks to I think it was Troy that made the note to make sure that the hand or his hands need to be bigger, so you could see that Fife's hands are definitely a lot bigger than mine in this representation here. But he's wearing a NASA. Hey, look at that! You're wearing a green. Now your NASA sweatshirt. You have a NASA hat, right?
I have an NASA hat and my Vital sweatshirt.
So yeah, I decided to just based on the size of the hat and everything. I'm like, I just wanted to because I didn't know what that sweatshirt was. I'm not cool enough to know what that was. So I just gave it a NASA sweatshirt, but the green sweatshirt, which he's wearing there today. Let's jump over to Troy. Um, so Troy's got his. Hey, he's wearing that hat today too.
Nice.
So he's got a Superman shirt on, and he made a special note here. He's not wearing any shoes or socks there, so he's barefoot. Uh, so that was another special note there. But then thinking about Rogers and just being like, I could not draw him in a peanut style because it just like he does, have a taller, skinnier, frame to him, and it just did not lend well to a peanut style. And then Troy is like, well, you should maybe make him Snoopy. And then I'm like, well, what if I made him tall Snoopy? So Matt Rogers wearing his 90s, Saved by the Bell background type of cap that he's got. And then Troy he made a lot of creative decisions on here and just told, to put cheetah print underwear for some reason. I'm pretty sure that was something that you said. I don't know where I was going with that, but
It
so
looks
yeah,
great.
here's the four members of Cartoonist by Night in a peanut style.
It's cool.
We
It's
need that
awesome.
on a shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yes.
It would, yeah.
They really should be part of the opening credits.
Yeah, I think so. Because yeah, I did not do this the last time we recorded, so it's been out there in the wild since probably November, but yeah, that's that.
That's funny.
And then to do an update on my drawing here, Selena plus Chef for Pop Tate. I've got the inking done. I think I got most. I got a little bit of erasing to do before I jump in with my alcohol markers and such. I had to make a run to a store today to pick up a new skin tone, which I'm not. I have to do some tests here because I'm not committed to. Uh, I think I might do Pop Tate's skin, but I think her skin's going to be. I want it to look the same as what I did in all the other ones, so I may leave her face and hands uncolored for this, but just to kind of show off what I'll be doing next. D Bread, you got another character up on the screen. Let's take a look. I want to show that off and
Yeah, I love it. It's awesome. Now, can you do, since you draw your face, can you draw, can we see that face? Can you make that face?
there you go.
And then this one, this guy, I did this one before that one.
Oh man,
he's a little more nervous guy.
That's great. Yeah, I love expression lines and just what one can portray just by drawing a couple squigglies around a body part or a face or something. I just love that the simplest little dash in an artwork can animate it quite well. Cool. So yes, let me go back to the questions here because we do have a couple, so I want to make sure I get them in here. So Kevin Wolf, we've talked to him in the past here, and he had some questions the last time. Happy Wolf Art, there's underscores in that. Happy Wolf Art 1. I want to go back to a prior episode that he had asked a question here. Let's see here.
He's a cool guy. I like him.
Oh yeah, he does a lot of cool stuff if you follow his work. And it's in here somewhere. Here we go. So this is from our last session, but I think it'll still play in. Question for Troy. Now, you may or may not be able to talk about it, which he does say, but I'm going to ask it anyways. What's the future publishing plans for Kids Slapshot look like? Can you give any kind of legal update on where we could see Kids Slapshot again in the future?
I would like to do a couple of them this year. You don't. I'll say some personal stuff, and future Anthony doesn't have to cut this out, but the family dynamic has been rough with the illness in the family. The past year specifically was really rough, and as a result of that, I don't have anything in the pipeline for it. So I would like to personally do two of them. I'm also going to be kickstarting one that Nick Aureliani wrote. It's Franco's son.
Ooh.
So he wrote one, and artist named Clint Kaiser would like to draw it, but we need to kickstart it to pay Clint to draw it. So I'd like to put out three of them this year, to myself, and then the one with the other creative team. But I just when you're like, Fife can probably say this better than I can, but like when you're in that groove and you're being creative and you're making things, it somewhat feels like it just starts to flow out of you, and then you stop and it feels like it just stops, so I've got some character designs that don't don't really have any stories attached to them, but I appreciate folks like Kevin and his daughter, people that like Kid Slapshot and want to see more of it. Um, so, uh, but unfortunately, I don't have a straight answer as far as exact plans because I don't have anything written out and ready to pitch to the publisher yet.
No, it's definitely a
You
good
pitch,
update.
do you pitch each issue to Keen Spot and tell them what you plan to do, or
I do since they're all one shots. Um, the I don't know that I need to, but I do out of respect. You know, it's their dollar publishing it. You know, they want to publish it. They like it, and they ask for it. So even when I don't have it, they ask, "Are you working on one? What's next?" You know, whatever the case. You know, I'm sorry, fellas. I lost my train of thought there.
No worries.
you're doing good?
Yes, I pitch it because I don't want to have like I drew a villain. It's like making fun of Modoc. It's called Moodoc the Milkman, and like his head is like a cow's udder and has like nipples coming out of it, things like that. And there's a possibility that Keenspot might look at that and be like, nope. So you just never know. You never know. So I'd hate to spend, you know, 2 months working on a book and then look at it and be like,
Excellent. Now I'm gonna switch gears here because I want to be honest here with our viewers. Let me cut to my main screen here. Now I've been battling with this decision here, what I was going to do with this very particular episode. Let's just say I was on the fence about hitting a certain button, but I'm going to hit it anyways. I'm just going to hit this button and see what happens.
One of us gets ejected. Oh no, one of us joins in.
Look at this, everybody. Hold for technical. Hey, look at this.
Hey!
Right.
it's Rogers.
I was
And he's
on the.
wearing that hat.
It's me.
Oh, he's moving around. He learned some new tricks.
He's not on a fence either.
Oh, I am.
Very uncomfortable sitting on that fence, I bet.
Oh no, it's right where it needs to be.
Okay. In that case,
It's good to see you. It's good to see you, Matt.
It's good seeing you, sir. I've missed your Tuesday evening presence.
I appreciate that. I miss it too.
so yeah, here we go. If people are just tuning in on bevcam.org, if you're watching us over in Beverly, Massachusetts, and you are catching us mid episode, because you don't typically do that on YouTube, all of us are here because of Art Baltazar, Franco, Oh Yeah Comics, and it's so cool that like there's moments when all of us, or a good portion of us, are in the same comment section, whether it be Oh Yeah videos for the store, or whether it's the Oh Yeah podcast and Word Balloon and things like that, or just in the I Like Pink group for the fan group for the Oh Yeah podcast. So it's pretty amazing that this is our largest gathering of people right here on this very program. So I just wanted to acknowledge that we're all here through
Awesome.
through the power of all yeah. So
I like that.
Yeah.
Mazel tov.
Speaking of Art Baltazar, I was on Alejandro's what's that? Whatnot stream last night.
yes,
I guess he has an alternate personality, but it's Bart Altazar.
I was unaware of this.
Yeah, he was looking for a picture that he drew, but he couldn't find it last night, so we'll see.
That's awesome.
Balthazar. That's funny.
To catch Rogers up, we're drawing whatever, we're talking whatever. We have Adam Crohn here. We're going through the history of Adam Crohn's creative journey as an artist, as a toy designer, We've been filtering some questions. One question that we're just kind of at the tail end of is if you had any goals for 2024, Matt Rogers, on kind of what you wanted to do. I'm assuming art wise, if you had any creative goals as you go in and start a brand new year that you can share.
Yeah, sorry, I have a weird pop-up on my screen. I hope my audio sounds okay. It says low system resources may affect your audio quality.
That's
It's
fine.
good. It's crystal clear. It's good.
I hope I didn't do anything. Okay. My goals are basically to make more comics and do more variant covers for people and make money doing that.
Mm, yes.
And I have a project that I'm working on that some people know a little bit about, like very little, and I'm going to try to get together a pack to pitch to an agent to see if I can get that doing anything.
Mm,
But that won't be until like June.
cool, cool.
It's amazing what you can plan when you buy a planner.
Planner.
It's my very first planner I've ever had, and I'm just like, oh man, it's the whole year.
And do you plan out your meals in there and everything too, or is it just art creative goals?
I mean, I do. I did write the other day, 7:45 break for dinner.
There you go. Yeah, there are times when I'm drawing and I'm watching or listening to something in the background. Sometimes it's Adam's videos on YouTube and his toy design videos and such, and it's great content for fellow creators to listen and watch along.
Thank you.
And then I'll remember like, oh, I haven't stood up in like 3 hours. I should probably stand and just maybe grab some water. I'm reminding myself I'm going to take a swig right now. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
like that. Swig. Swig.
I don't have anything to swig. I mean,
dangerous.
Did you really? You did. That's awesome.
It's
Nice
dangerous.
job, D Brad. Nice job.
It's dangerous to have the liquids around some art pieces and stuff, but we're all pros. I think we nailed it.
Luckily, I'm watercoloring, so.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh!
I
Definitely don't
accidentally
break that.
there
I
was
think
something I
D-Brad
was
has the juice boxes for all of us. So
Yeah, yeah.
and I went to blow like some eraser dust off of a drawing the other night, and then I realized I just like flat out spit on whatever I was working on. I was like, oh no, oh no. It ended up being okay and nothing got ruined, but it was one of those where I was like, I gotta be a little more careful when I do that.
Ooh. Yeah, there's been multiple times where I've like gone to bed for the night and while laying there realized I think I forgot to eat dinner today.
Oh no.
And I'm like, if I eat now, I'll just end up having heartburn.
Yeah.
So breakfast is going to be real good in 6 hours.
Yeah, sometimes you could just have, like a leftover Harold's chicken at,
Uh,
3 a.m. or something if it's your breakfast.
Ooh.
I've only had Harold's chicken once, and it was when Art he brought it to the store on a Tuesday for Joe and I,
Yeah.
and it was like this massive like pan of chicken fingers.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal. I haven't had it
Good.
since. That was like a year ago.
Yeah. I've had Harold's with Art, I think 2 or 3 times. I've had it by myself as well after C2E2 because I was trying to locate it where it was with my hotel. And I'm like, the map says it should be pretty close, probably with walking distance. I looked out my hotel window. It's literally just right across the street. I'm like, hey, look at that Harold's perfect. And but the best way to have Harold's is if you are returning to the Oh Yeah Comics booth, and I forget who it is, but there's I think one of the super fans brings Harold's every year, and you
Oh,
just
yeah.
sit at the right spot, and then Art will be like, "Here, come back, have some chicken," and I'm sitting here Harold's chicken at a Comic Con. There's no greater experience than that.
That's
Have you ever ordered it? Like, I looked at their menu and I was confused. I don't know why, because I was trying to find what Art brought, and it was just like chicken fingers with like a sauce on it that wasn't terribly spicy.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with their menu?
I went pretty simple with it because I got like the chicken fingers or tenders, whatever they want to call them, and then you get like a pile of fries, and then they just put that sauce over everything,
Yeah.
and it's delicious. It's just a big pile of stuff, and it just like it felt bottomless in the sense it was very heavy. I'll say that. But yeah, I didn't really know what to get other than I'm like I'll just take some chicken and fries, and I guess I'll just let them do. I know Art always recommends lemon pepper.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mm.
yeah, he talks
Damn.
about that a lot, but yeah, I otherwise I've just had whatever Art had sitting there. So cool,
The
cool, cool.
Bart Altazar special.
Alcazar.
I like it. I like it. I like it.
So was that on a YouTube thing, Matt? The Bart Alcazar?
It was on Alejandro sells artwork and commissions and stuff on a Whatnot stream.
Oh,
Do you
I
know
don't
what Whatnot is?
know. Nope.
Um, it's like you go live and it's basically like you streaming yourself and you do stuff and then the things that you do you can have auctions for it.
Okay.
I know that I heard about it because Rob Liefeld was doing them for a while and he would just basically sign stuff and then people would be like, I'll give you $40. And then somebody's like, I'll give you 50. But yeah, so he was on there because I got the did you see his Steamboat Alley buttons that he did? Where it's his Alley Cat character, but he's posed like Steamboat Willie at the wheel.
Not
I
yet.
got one of those off of him, and
Cool.
yeah, he was just talking about
Is it a
uh,
website or how do you
it's
get to
like
what?
an app.
Now?
Whatnot's like an app that you can get, and I guess they really vet their sellers on there. Like you have to go through Whatnot University and like learn how to do stuff. I'm like,
What not to do?
I'll be back in a minute, guys.
Sure thing.
no, where's he going? I haven't talked to Troy in ages.
That's why he had to leave.
He's a vampire.
I'm trying to think if there was any other questions that we asked everybody else that we could repeat to Rogers here. How's Elvis, and have you seen him lately?
Elvis?
Elvis.
I haven't seen that guy in forever. I did see the movie finally. It was a very well done film about something that I care very little about.
There you go. I think that's high praise.
That's my review of the Baz Luhrmann Elvis movie.
That's good because we didn't have anybody. I did ask to see if anybody had checked it out, so and nobody did. So I'm glad that you did. It's on
It's
my
a
list.
solid okay.
I was going to turn it into a mini series, so I wasn't ready
You can
for the
edit
end
this.
game level version of Elvis yet. Because it is what, 3 hours, right?
Yeah, it's up there. I mean, the best part of it is Tom Hanks, and even that wasn't like amazing, but yeah, it was
I
fine.
didn't realize he was in it.
Yeah, he's like the manager, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
heavily made up. Like you can barely tell that it's him.
Huh.
There's a weird accent, and he's made to look like a fat old man. Which I don't know, Tom Hanks, maybe he is a fat old man now.
I've seen him recently, and he's not that. I was gonna say him like he's gorgeous. I didn't know what to say, so I panicked.
He's a good looking dude.
I know Tom Hanks watches this show, so I was just I got
Yeah, I get it.
Speaking of Tom Hanks, I just watched this movie with Rita Wilson in it called Mixed Nuts from the 90s. You guys ever see that?
Steve Martin?
Yeah. I had never seen it. It was interesting. It's funny.
Never seen it.
She's really funny. She's a good comedy actress.
Well,
The only thing I've ever seen her in is that and Jingle All the Way.
She was in the HBO show Girls. She played one of the girls' moms who was like
I watched that.
the
I don't remember.
yeah, she was Marnie's mom. She was like the 55-year-old woman who was pretending like she was 25 the whole time,
Huh.
sang for her little band a couple of years. She was really cringe, but yeah,
Yeah.
it was fun.
That
That
the
most of that show was really cringe, to be
Yeah,
clear, but
it was.
that's the show with Kylo Ren, right?
Yeah, which
yes,
to be fair, that's where I was like, this dude is awesome.
Hmm.
yeah,
That was
that dude's
before he was
good.
doing, before he was Kylo Ren.
So I
Like,
watched the Weird Al movie tonight,
oh yeah,
and it was amazing. It was the stupidest movie I've ever seen, but it was awesome. And whenever I finish a movie, I always go to IMDb and I read the trivia section. And
I do that too. Yep.
it said that if they hadn't gotten Daniel Radcliffe, the next in line for the role was Kylo Ren.
Jeez.
Adam Driver. Totally opposites.
that's
Right.
well.
Yeah.
What's funny, where I liked Adam Driver from as well is he was in a movie with Daniel Radcliffe. What If? It's not a Marvel movie or animated series. I think it's called What If. Um, Let me just confirm that, fact check it. But yeah, both of them are actually in that movie together.
Hmm.
And of course, when I search it, it's just going to get all the. Let me go What If movie. Hang tight, everybody. Uh, yeah, so a movie with Zoe Kazan, who I like and a lot of stuff, but yeah, Daniel Radcliffe and Adam Driver are in a 2013 rom-com called What If?
Hmm. I will have to check it out. I
That,
think like Daniel Radcliffe has like the best position for a career because that dude made all of his money when he was like 13 years old. So now he
Right.
can pick and choose whatever he wants to do for the rest of his life. So you know that if he's in a movie, he genuinely wanted to be in that movie.
yeah,
The one that blew me away. Have you guys seen Swiss Army Man?
Yeah. It's great.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What a great film.
Oh
Yeah.
And
yeah,
he just plays a dead body in it.
really?
But I mean, he farts a lot and stuff. He does that.
oh yeah, the farting corpse movie. That's what people usually call it, right?
Yeah.
Who's the other? Is it Paul Dano? Paul Dano
Yeah.
is the other guy. Yeah.
Well, that's funny because Paul Dano is married to Zoe Kazan.
My goodness.
There's a
We need to
lot
get
of.
these people on our show.
I'm gonna reach out to them right now. I'm gonna reach out to Weird Al and see if he can get all those people together.
I think Paul Dano might be too busy writing Riddler comics, if
That's
I
right. Yes.
saw
Yeah.
his
Right.
name correctly.
Cool.
So
Cool.
how do you guys feel about celebrities that get comic writing gigs? Do you think it's good or do you think it's messed up?
It's a great question.
They can write comics. I'm okay with it. If they suck at it, then give me a job.
Well, but see, that's the thing is like, what has like, I'm talking, I've never read any of these, but like, what has Keanu Reeves done to prove that he can write a comic?
Right.
So
Instead, he just gets a comic.
I'll,
I
I'll I can speak it because I've read all the Berserker. Him and Matt Kint are like story co-writers, whatever the official credits are. I
Mm.
think one thing that helps is Matt Kint, who is an extremely awesome writer and established and everything. But yeah, that story is really fun. It's more than just a comic about just brutal punching and kicking and fists through faces and stuff. Like it definitely has all of that for anybody who likes that stuff, but it did really drive an emotional story behind it and made the character of B very tragic and everything. And I don't know the extent of Keanu Reeves' input on the day to day, but Matt Kint, whether he's only said good things about it, and the passion of Keanu coming in there and stuff like that. Patton Oswalt, who's a comic book nerd, has a lot of comic book writing cred. Aman
Mm.
Vellani, who plays Kamala Khan in the MCU, she just wrapped up a mini series co-writing Ms. Marvel in her stage of being a new mutant, as well as mixed in with her inhuman powers. And in the current previews, she's doing another mini series. She's a co-writer on that, and she's definitely someone who like was an MCU fan turned comic book fan turned MCU actor turned comic book writer, and so everything that I've read from like celebrities and stuff. I've really enjoyed, and I hope it brings, kind of like with Kevin Smith being brought into Marvel Knights and working on Daredevil. Like, Joe Quesada will always credit him, for saving Marvel Comics, and kind of talking about like bringing somebody from the film industry who had a very public identity of always loving comics, like instilling that into his movies. And I think Kevin is a great example of, whether you like his comics or movies or not, like the passion he brings into his projects. I think he's a good example of, a good side of using that fame to hopefully try to bring in non-comic readers to like check out their stuff just because it's
Right.
the person. So I'm a fan of that, specifically, just anything that would get more people to pick up comics and hopefully pick up beyond that. Anybody else have any thoughts on celebrities writing comics?
Has Nicolas Cage ever written a comic?
I don't think so, but yeah, he should do a run on Superman or something. So
Yeah,
I mean, he's going to retire from acting soon, supposedly. So maybe. Would he write it like, would it be about Nicolas Cage?
Yeah, yeah, it should.
I'll
I always
color
liked it. Speaking of Elvis, I always liked it. A skit that he did where he was little tiny Elvis on the dashboard of a car, and it was him dressed as Elvis and doing a little Elvis voice, and they called him Tiny E, and he give him advice. So I'd love to see him play himself and have a little tiny Elvis on a dashboard, and they go across America.
Oh man, get a hold of him, pitch him.
You should write it. Yeah.
I just thought of that right now, though.
Speaking of Elvis and comics, because his like wardrobe was influenced from the original Captain Marvel comics. Is that? I think they show him with a Captain Marvel comic book in that movie. Is that correct, Rogers?
Yeah.
But I remember
Captain Marvel Jr.
What's that?
Him and Captain Marvel Jr. were
Junior, yeah,
influenced off each other.
So
Junior had like a rockabilly look to him.
Okay, but yeah, so like, cause I forget if any of that played into that movie or not, but I think you saw a Captain Marvel Jr. comic in the trailer at least.
All I know about Nick Cage and comic books is that he had those really valuable ones stolen from him.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
And he named his son Cowl.
And his last name Cage is from Luke Cage.
Yeah, and he played Ghost Rider, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yep.
Was that good?
No. Well,
I'm never gonna watch that.
Seen it, but I don't remember if it was good.
In the second one, there's a part where he whizzes fire. So I don't know. Future Anthony, you might have to edit that out.
I've done that hundreds of times.
I'm just wondering if I bleep that word, it makes it sound worse than it actually is, probably.
Depends how spicy my food is.
Speaking of spicy food, I have something to show you guys.
Uh-oh. Do we want to see this? Okay, we're narrating for the people that are just listening and drawing along. Troy always encourages people to draw along as they watch our show.
I stopped at Taco Bell and I loaded back up on the Diablo sauce packets.
Did you walk out of Taco Bell with that amount?
Yeah.
And it was just like, yeah, okay. That's awesome.
I was sneaky about it. Usually I take my wife in and she'll have her purse and I'll grab a handful and just like drop it in her purse and then grab another handful and put it in the box of tacos and then another handful to hold in my hand.
It's like Uncle Frank with the salt and pepper shaker. It's like, put it in your purse. Just put it.
Diablo Rogers.
Diablo.
I'm so happy.
Taco Bell's like, you walk back in, they're like, oh, that guy, he's on the fence. Watch him.
There's a picture of me on the front door.
He's on the border. He's on the border.
It's on the border. I like that.
Man,
it's quick. It's quick.
Maybe Anthony will put in some bell ringing noise right there.
I was gonna make a Donald Trump joke, so we'll stick with your idea.
Yeah, yeah. Adam Crohn, how you feeling
Sure.
about your status of your watercoloring there?
It's getting there. Still just like it's all like base colors. I'm trying, there's so many guys in this hanging out with Jabba that are different shades of brown. So it's like trying to differentiate when you're watercoloring because like one swipe with the brush can be a different shade or value than the next. And I'm trying to remember like my Star Wars, my Kenner guys are across the room, so I was actually gonna like enlist D-Brad in a minute to remember some of the colors of these guys. But I like it. It's like I said, it's fun, it's relaxing, so it's come around. I just had to grab my Boba Fett. I'm gonna paint him now.
Boba Fett.
Boba
Boba
Fett.
Fett.
Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
Where?
When I in 1996 when I graduated high school in 95 and the next like 6 months later or something, I treated myself. There he is. I treated myself to a tattoo, and I got the Boba Fett's,
Oh yeah.
which is
Nice.
now it's called a mythosaur, but back then it was just Boba Fett's symbol.
Right.
And so he's been my guy since I was a kid. I know a lot of people like him now, but I still every once in a while got to like look at his toy to remember where the colors go.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I still don't like him.
Good. I'm glad. It's good contrast. It's good contrast.
Just kidding. He's awesome. He's always
I
been
love.
awesome.
I got this. Where's my camera? Oh, there it is. Okay. The from the show, the Tython suit where he's like, it's right when he gets his armor back, and he kicks all the
Yeah.
stormtroopers' butts. So I got the figure. I love that aesthetic of old man Boba Fett and that scene, one of the greatest action scenes in history, I think. But um, I don't know. I wish the rest of the stuff could have been like that scene.
Yeah. I spoilers anybody that hasn't seen Boba Fett, but um it was sad to me that the best part of that show was when Mandalorian showed up.
Yeah,
It's
hijacked
like
it.
it's just like season 2.5. All right.
Right, right. That's weird.
I remember seeing that and just like pausing, checking my Disney Plus menu, and just being like, did I click on the wrong thing? Like a suggestion, like after the last episode, and then they said, "Oh, you may also like," and I was so confused on what was going on, and then yeah,
Like, what am I watching here?
I am
It was
very
all right.
confused about what you guys are talking about to begin
yeah.
Good
This
old
this conversation is the Mandalorian episode of Boba Fett in Troy's brain right now. If any of
with.
that made sense, probably didn't.
Not really. That's okay.
I've missed you, Troy. You've been on nights for too long.
Yes. Sucked.
You're back to the living.
Yep. Yep.
He went back to a cartoonist by night after being cartoonist by day for too long.
Daytime sucks.
All right. I would go to the questions again, but I just started Selena's shirt here, and I don't want to lose some of the tone on when I'm coloring and see lines where I stop. So this is me killing time, trying to think
Eh,
of. Yes,
You're using is that a Copic you're using?
it's not. It's I think it's called Ugili or something.
Okay.
Ugili, and I think it's Copic like, but probably just a cheaper brand. But
Okay.
this is the first time I bought these in like November, I think. I've never used alcohol markers. I wanted to get away from colored pencils, and since using these, I've been loving it, and I've been loving the progress of my work and stuff. So,
I thought you were going to say I really want to get back into colored pencils since
oh,
using them.
No, I think in the last episode I talked about how I still use colored pencils to add some details and some shading. So I feel bad if I put all those art supplies away and don't use them. I like to use everything, but since using any this alcohol marker in any brand, I guess I've really really loved the what it resulted in. Yep.
Like it. There's a what's her name? There's a woman on Instagram who uses Copics only, and it's I mean, this sounds weird, but it's like magic. It's like
I've
I don't
seen
know.
Troy has shared her stuff.
I think her name's just Cope on Instagram. I think it's just Cope Arts. Is that right? Does that sound?
Oh, maybe this is a different person.
I mean, the stuff that
I
she
think
does is bananas. The way she blends the colors of the markers with other markers in like gradients and stuff. It's phenomenal.
I'll have to
I
check that one.
don't think we're talking about the same person there, Matt, but you're thinking of Aaron Hunt Aaron
Hunting.
Hunting or Benton?
Hunting.
Yeah, that's what her
Okay.
stuff looks like it was
Her.
done with a laser jet printer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like computer or something.
It's
Like a
amazing. No matter how many times I try to use a marker, I always get like those little overlap lines.
yep. Well,
It's
when you know like
Aaron,
the
Aaron Hunting is
okay, I'm sure there's a few out there that no, I don't know. I like using them and to get rid of those lines that you're talking about. It's similar like with watercolors where you can get that same line, but then you can go back in as long as it's not fully dried and blend that out. And that's where you
Mm,
get these nice like gradients and stuff.
nice. Yeah, I
But
bought a pack of digital markers called Color Mark from True Grit Supply Company, and they act exactly the same. And I've been like working with those a little bit, and it's pretty awesome.
that's cool.
This episode's not sponsored or anything.
Not yet.
But hey, reach out if you want to.
Yeah, I love their stuff.
All right, I got another question here from Kevin Wolf. Um, he's been delving into the history of Popeye lately, and if it works with the show's topic or flow, which there is no specific topic, so I say it'll work. What are everyone's thoughts and memories of Popeye? So this is Popeye Memories with Kevin Wolf. Um, let's hear from D. Brad. D. Brad, do you have any memories or any association with Popeye?
I do. I do. You bet I do. Yeah.
Let's
Um,
hear it.
okay. Um, I think. Well, when I was a kid, there was in in the afternoon TV after school. There was these Popeye cartoons that would air. They weren't the really good ones by the Fleshers. They
Oh
were
God.
they were the ones that were made for TV, little shorts, short, maybe 5 minute ones. So I think they're a bit shorter than the Flesher ones. And so I remember that. That's probably my earliest memory. I had a few Gold Key or Whitman Popeye comics. So I really enjoyed the drawing style of the comics. I actually preferred the comics to that animated show. And then Hanna-Barbera started making some Popeye comics. I'm sorry, Popeye cartoons. There was Popeye and Sons was one.
Hmm.
Like that was that's starting early '80s probably there. And once again, it's just like the animation's not as good. The character designs are good, but they don't move around too much, so it's not. So I didn't see the Fleischer ones till I went to animation school, and just was blown away by those. Those are so awesome. But I'm probably one of the few people in the world that, after seeing the Popeye movie starring Robin Williams,
Yes.
went out and bought the soundtrack album.
Yes, of course you did.
You are the only one that did that now.
I do enjoy
And I
that
would
movie.
play it and play it and play it. Yeah.
Yeah, I do
That's
enjoy
awesome.
that movie, and but yeah, I did not go and get the soundtrack. But yeah, and then Shelley Duvall was awesome as Olive Oil.
It was, yeah, yeah.
Who played Bluto in that?
I don't think he's really known.
No, okay, I didn't think
I
so.
think it was just actual Bluto.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bluto as himself.
yeah.
makes sense.
And
Here's
this,
a tidbit of trivia on Popeye. I just
ooh,
learned. I just learned it this Christmas. Aunt Bethany in
yes,
Christmas Vacation
yes,
voiced Olive Oil in the old cartoon,
Oh,
and
May
I
Questel.
heard that too.
Is
And
that
also
and
Betty Boop
Betty
Betty
Boop
Boop,
and
yeah.
and a couple others. Yeah.
is Rusty still in the Navy?
Jesus.
the
Blessing.
blessing?
The blessing.
Okay, hold on. I got something to show off about the blessing.
He just brings back a Bible.
So
Bless.
I bought this from a local shop that supports local artists and such, but the signature doesn't. I don't know who made it, but it was there. So I own this canvas of the blessing.
It's terrifying.
I'm going to reach out to the shop owner and see if for post Anthony, if I future Anthony, if I can get a name on there. But yeah, I who else would I didn't think I was going to ever find an opportunity to show this off, and it just worked
There
out.
you go.
There you go.
All right, it's time for me to go. My daughters need to go to sleep. I need to go to sleep. I will see you gentlemen later.
It was great
Matt,
to have
good
you.
to see you, man. It's good to see you. Happy New Year.
Yes.
Thanks, sir.
Bye all.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so this next question I have is for Matt Fife. Oh shoot.
I can answer for him. I've known him for ages.
Um, Rogers, any Popeye memories?
I thought that making cartoons would be awesome, and then I saw the Fleischer Popeye cartoons, and I decided I'm never going to be able to do that, so that ended my dreams of animation.
Ah,
Gee
Um,
whiz.
and then I remember watching the Robin Williams movie and having to ask my dad why Bluto turned yellow at the end.
Did he?
Yeah, he turns yellow and like swims away.
Weird.
And then I remember he was a spokesperson for a canned spinach company, like in real life.
Popeye, yeah. Yeah.
But I've never been a huge Popeye guy. I hope that that doesn't make Mr. Wolf unfriend me.
Ruined.
Oh, I just saw. Yeah, I refreshed his follow status, and it just went down one.
Hmm. Well,
And this episode's not even out yet. I don't know how that happened.
man. But yeah, Popeye, I mean, I don't hate Popeye.
There you go.
It's
Yeah,
the best review ever. I don't hate it.
yeah, my Popeye memories is everything that Joey Gladstone taught us in
Oh yeah, yeah.
Full House.
The Junior Woodchucks. Right now it's DuckTales.
Woodchuck. Is this made out of wood? That's another Joey Gladstone. We'll do a Joey Gladstone topic sometime in the future, I'm sure.
I claim the Alanis Morissette story.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, well, a lot of editing in that episode. That we do. Let's jump over to Troy. Do you have any Popeye memories? Any Popeye love?
nah, not really.
No.
Popeye love.
Popeye love. Anybody with
I
any?
mean, I've known about Popeye and Olive Oil as long as I can remember,
Yeah.
but I don't think, it's not like
Yeah.
Looney Tunes I would also see, or I've also known of as long as I can remember, but I have a fondness for it. I just don't really have that same fondness for Popeye.
Fair enough. Drawings all over the place. Okay, and Adam, did we hear from you on Popeye memories?
Uh, I mean, I grew up with the old school cartoon as well, but in high school, junior high, my friends and I had a joke. I don't know where it came from, or like not a joke, but like something that just made us laugh was when Olive Oil would like hang outside of a window and like sway back and forth with her upper body and her arms, and this like music would play. It was like I don't even know. It was like I can't remember how it went, but anyway, we used to hum this music to each other like in class and stuff just to make each other laugh. I don't know where it came from because none of us were like major Popeye fans.
That's
It's
awesome.
weird.
Yeah, I definitely watched the cartoon. I never had read any of the comics or anything like that. I enjoyed the movie. I'm not sure if I own it, but I appreciate it for what it was and its weirdness. But and I'm not a fan of spinach, but I think that just kind of wraps up my Popeye memories.
I like spinach now.
Yeah, I like spinach.
I didn't then when I was a kid.
Did
There's
anybody?
also Popeye's chicken. Isn't that a thing? A Popeye's chicken?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, but they don't even have Popeye as like their spokesperson.
So
it's
it's
messed
not
up,
related to Popeye at all.
Yeah.
right?
Oh, in one of the cities on here on Vancouver Island, there's a Popeyes store that sells um it has to do with weightlifting, like supplements or whatever.
Huh.
Yeah, I forget. It's called Popeyes, and it's got Popeye. So it
Do
must be.
they? So like, it's got a picture of Popeye on the
Yeah,
branding.
it's the licensed Popeye.
They
Ah.
licensed it. Okay,
Or did they?
or did they? Yeah.
Yeah,
Who owns Popeye?
King Features,
King Features.
a comic strip
Yeah.
syndicate.
Well,
Are
That
they?
evil
They
company.
do they still do stuff?
They still make Popeye. Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
there's
It's kind of weirdly drawn though.
King, King Features has an app, and Fife shared it with us. They had a deal going on, so I keep forgetting about it, but I did sign up for it. We have access to like Beetle Bailey, High and Lois, and things like that. And um, I should look because Popeye's probably on there. So I can check it out. It's kind of like the Netflix for
Is it
King.
called Go Comics?
Say that again. Yeah, Popeye comics. Yeah.
Go Comics. Go
Yeah.
Comics.
Say that one more time.
Go Go Comics.
I
Go.
believe, yes, it is called GoCro.
They had Flash Gordon on there too, I think. The new one that's supposed to be really good.
Yeah, Flash Gordon. I like
A comic book of Flash Gordon.
No, the strip,
comic
like the
strip.
daily strip.
Oh,
I
I haven't
finished
looked at it.
another one. This
Beautiful.
is this is
Woohoo!
that's awesome.
tiny headed cable.
That's awesome.
Hey man,
Big
the
big
smaller
body,
the head,
tiny
the
head
better.
cable.
Tiny
Beautiful.
Cable.
It looks like when Bruce Banner is wearing the Hulkbuster suit, or like when it's just the tiny little Mark Ruffalo head and
Yeah.
Tiny little Mark Ruffalo head.
yes. All
That
right,
could be a new thing. Tiny heads.
I tested the new marker for different brand for the skin tone I was running out of. I tested it on Pops. It looks good in person. It's kind of washed out here. It's a little better there, but I'm not quite sure if I want to use that on Selena yet. So I think I'm going to wait until I get the brand I'm familiar with. So I just got to do some extra details and such. But this is kind of where I'm at with my Selena Plus Chef with Pop Tate from Pop's Pop.
Trying to
Like
think
it.
of other chefs you could use.
Yeah. So
Admiral.
Chef Boyardee.
oh,
Do you know that was a real dude?
I did
It
not.
was.
Yeah, I just learned that the other day.
Oh.
It's an actual dude. His name was spelled like more Italian, like
Yeah, right,
Boyardi.
yeah.
But
We
he's
already,
like a real,
yeah.
he actually owned like a real like pizza place slash Italian restaurant. And the way that he got started is he would like pre-package, take and make at home boxes at his restaurant.
That's
It's in
awesome.
Chicago, right?
That I don't know.
I
I
believe
was just
so.
still, they might have said it, and I was just like, wait a minute, that's a real guy? And that picture of him, that's actually him.
Is it really?
And
It's the
Yeah.
same picture? Wow.
I was just
yeah,
like, what?
they changed the spelling on the can so
Yeah.
that people could pronounce it better.
Yeah. Yeah. I was
That's
like, what?
hilarious.
Stuff's mind blowing, man.
What's everybody's favorite Chef Boyardee? I know it's all the same, but like
Right.
Right.
different shapes.
Ravioli.
Oh yeah. Gotta go with the ravioli.
Yeah.
I love the best one. Waldo was when they had the Where's Waldo ones.
Oh, yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle heads.
There we go.
The only reason I'd say beefaroni is because I remember it it like pouring out of a thermos
Oh, yeah.
at lunchtime.
That
You
that
know,
was
like
when
I,
mankind
yeah.
from WWF was advertising beefaroni all the time.
We're having beefaroni. Delicious macaroni.
Beefaroni was my nickname in high school.
Oh,
Oh,
was it? Sorry.
That's
No.
awesome.
Sorry to
That's
bring it back up.
That's a good nickname.
It
because
would
I
have been,
mentioned
yeah.
the Waldo SpaghettiOs, since I mentioned that.
Oh.
Tease for a series I'm just starting, but I want to do There's Waldo. So here's one drawing I have for There's Waldo.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I've got a couple others in the works, and yeah, that's just the first one I did.
The answer. Finally, it's finally answered. I always thought it'd be fun to dress up as Waldo when you went to a rock concert.
Yeah,
That would be great. Yeah, you
Anything with a crowd.
yeah.
Yeah.
usually see one Waldo at least in a Comic-Con, and but that's more expected just because it fits in with the pop culture stuff. But I love that idea of like, you're at like a Rob Zombie or something, and there's a Waldo standing in the crowd. So
Oh yeah. An extra in a movie.
awesome.
Green.
Let me check the
Sorry.
questions here. So let's see with our time. So I think we've been doing this for roughly 2 hours. How's everyone feeling about their drawings? As Troy, you had a couple done there. I'm guessing you're pretty satisfied with the ones you put out today.
Okay.
Uh, Rogers,
Yeah.
you came in late and your head's been down and you haven't been sharing your screen. I'm guessing you are working on stuff that we cannot see, but maybe could see in print later on.
You will be able to see what I am working on in print on February 28th when it comes out.
Oh,
It's currently in previews right now.
Nice.
These deadlines are freaky, man. It's like I've already turned in the covers and the synopsis for issue 5, and I'm working on the art for issue 4.
Oh.
It's
You're
like
brave. You
trying to
are a
wrap.
brave dude.
It's not due until Monday at midnight, so I'm doing good. I work best when I am like to the line.
Oh yeah.
If I have too much time to do it, then I'll just like second guess myself too much. But if it's like I have to commit, so this is how it goes, then it always turns out better.
Goodness
And
gracious.
luckily I work really fast. I finished 2 pages the other day.
Giving me anxiety just thinking about that. Fellas,
All I did is
I'm running low on steam here.
All right.
So I think I need to call it a night and go and catch some Z's.
Is it because all of the Steamboat Willie stuff this week that it's taking all the steam right out of you?
Man, it's taking it out of me. It really has. I'm sick and damn tired of seeing Steamboat Willie stuff.
Well, future Anthony's going to put some Steamboat Willie pictures as he's saying that, so it's going to be Troy's voice over some Steamboat Willie.
Right on. I think everybody here has probably already done something with Steamboat Willie.
I
I mean-
almost did, but then I stopped when I saw all the Steamboat Willies being posted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The day, what was it? It was January 1st, right? That it
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
And like that horror movie trailer came out.
It's
I have
such low hanging fruit, man.
uh man, it's like, come on, it's like that Winnie the Pooh thing. It's like, this is a
yeah.
kid's, a nice wholesome thing. Like, what?
The thing
I
that's
guess it's
even
good.
worse that kind of is under the radar now because of Steamboat Willie is Tigger is now public domain
Right.
Really.
because
Also,
it hit his anniversary. So I'm like, when's the sequel for the Winnie the Pooh movie coming?
Yeah, I didn't think about that it would all be staggered because they
yeah,
didn't all appear at the same time.
yeah,
It's
right.
crazy. It's crazy.
I
Yeah,
think isn't Superman and Batman like in like 15 years or something?
I think it's like 2030 and
9 and
2031 or
40.
something.
And it's
That's
like
gonna be
the Superman that can't fly and things like that, right? Like it's that.
And
the
we,
Fleischer.
Yeah.
Okay.
basically
Yeah.
it's the rip off of John Carter in a wrestling suit,
Okay.
Superman.
Okay.
Yeah. Because what is it? Copyright is creator's death and then 70 years now.
Is
So
it?
yeah,
Right.
whenever Siegel and Schuster died, then
Oh, okay.
um I'm shocked that Disney even let Steamboat Willie go public. I figured they were gonna lobby. No, now it's creator's death plus 100 years.
Really? Yeah, I was wondering if there was any way around that to argue it. Is there? I don't know.
I think they had previously gotten it extended
Yeah,
somehow,
they've done it like 2 or 3 times. Yeah.
and it was like at a certain point, it's like, well, we had a good run. I guess it's now it's gonna go. But I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, like the person with the biggest lawyer wins,
Yeah.
and who's got a bigger lawyer than Disney?
Right.
Even if they know that they wouldn't be able to, they took the damn thing to the Supreme Court, they would lose. It's not going to stop them from taking that gamble that you can't afford to do that. So
Right.
if Disney sends you a cease and desist, you're probably going to be like,
Right.
jerks. Okay, fine.
Yes. There's so many caveats to it because of Mickey, how he's changed over the years. Because I've heard like this one is he has to have a tail. He can't have white around his eyes. He's not allowed to have gloves.
Loves it.
And his attitude, he has to be kind of a jerk because Steamboat Willie was a jerk. But then I sent this to Anthony and everybody. The title card for the Steamboat Willie cartoon shows Mickey wearing gloves, but
Yeah.
his shorts have stripes on it, and Minnie Mouse is on there. I know Minnie's in the public domain now too, but
Oh,
it's
really?
like, so you're not allowed to have the white gloves, even though the first time the public ever saw Mickey Mouse back then it was on the title screen where he's wearing gloves.
his first appearance was in two silent movies, and Steamboat Willie was the first sound cartoon, and so you can use Mickey Mouse from those other two as well.
Is that one of those? Does it have something to do with flying?
Yeah,
Playing crazy and galloping Guacho. Guacho
Yeah.
happens. But they did re-release them after Steamboat Willie with sound, so you can't use the sound one yet, only from the silent version.
So I
See,
think
it's,
the
it's
best
just crazy.
I think the best advice is don't do anything with it.
Yeah.
Parody.
Probably.
Play it
Parody.
safe.
Well, I mean, if you're going to do something, do satire or parody,
Yeah.
And that's been protected all along.
Mhm.
So, and even Disney wouldn't go after a parody
I got to
thing.
read it yet, but I have this Michael Mouse book that just recently came out.
Michael Mouse.
Michael.
It's nearby, so let me just show off the cover here. But yeah, I saw it in the previews, and it showed up the other day, and it is going to be shown on screen in a couple seconds because I am narrating my journey back to the screen. And Michael Mouse,
Oh,
I love it.
and but yeah, I love here's just an example of, I'm not sure what's on here, maturity wise, but showing off a couple things.
Angry.
Yeah, see, I look at that and I think because the design is the exact same, that is more derivative than I would be comfortable with.
Mhm.
because he's basically just changed. He's drawing Mickey Mouse, but changed the name. So
Yeah.
you have to change it for it to be
I
covered by parody. It has to be changed appreciatively, somewhat, so that you can tell the difference just looking at it. You can tell the difference between the original and the parody.
Yeah.
Like like that when Rob Potchek wrote that Mangolorian,
Mhm.
you know, for the most part, that character looks like the Mandalorian until you get down to like the bottom half of him and you see that he's wearing like UPS shorts, like delivery driver shorts, you know. So it's changed enough to where you can look at it and say, okay, that's something different, but it's definitely, a rip. I don't know, you can tell how tired I am, fellas. I'm signing off. It
Yep.
was good seeing you guys.
Troy, it's good to see you, man.
Good chatting
Nice,
to you.
nice meeting all you guys, or you, Adam, and nice seeing the rest of you fellas. And hopefully we'll get together again soon.
Yeah.
Sounds
Yeah.
good. Take care. Um,
Bye, guys.
see you later. And my next question here is for Troy. Oh shoot.
Man.
No, so we are going to be winding down here, so I'm picking up a pile of plugs that I have to show off. Um,
Right.
So Happy Astronaut #3 is officially out there in print. Came out at the end of December. So we have our main cover here by Matt Rogers, the artist creator. And then we have this very awesome variant cover by none other than Scoot McMahon, who of course instilled some awesome wrestling into there, but it also plays a purpose based on
So good.
what's been happening over there. But there's a Scoot cover that's up there as well. So reach out to your local comic book shop, ask for Happy Astronaut, go to keenspotshop.com and pick up the back issues and special variants and sometimes, incentive variants that not everybody has access to. So check that out. Issue 4 is planned for February. So get those pre-orders in and let your retailers know you want it. Do a shout out for the Santos Sisters Halloween special. I think we talked about it briefly, but I didn't have it in hand until right now. But this is the first time that Cartoonist by Night has an ad in the classifieds of a comic book. We also have a nice ad at the end of Happy Astronaut. I don't want to show it off because it may show off the final page by mistake. But you're watching the show right now, so I mean, you already found it. But yeah, so we have an ad there. Our friend Kirby from Under the Cowl of MS. Coincidentally, our ads are right next to each other. My friend from Crimson Call Comic Club and such. Oh yeah, Comics has an ad in here as well, so it's a pretty awesome issue just because it's the Santos sisters as well as all of our ads. I had nothing to do with the creative team on Archie Christmas Spectacular from 2023, but I do have to say that it features a reprint of a story which has my cameo that came out last year. So if you want to see me as an
Yeah.
Archie character,
That's awesome.
Living cartoon.
it was in a Betty and Veronica Christmas Digest from the end of 2022. But now, as far as my knowledge, it's the first time it's been reprinted into a floppy issue.
Nice.
I've been going through and trying to find some of the variants. Andrew Peepoy, who has the Simone and Ajax and has worked with Archie Comics and everybody else. So I've been trying to pick up some of the exclusive variant covers that contain my cameo. So I'm just plugging that as well.
Speaking of Archie, I'm gonna butt in real quick.
Yes.
I still have copies of me and Troy's cover for the Archie Halloween Spectacular.
Beautiful.
Very
And
cool.
those are like $15 shipped. I have the only ones that are signed by Troy and me.
Double
And then
sign.
they also come with a mini print that will get a sketch on the back. So I
That's
have like
beautiful.
20 of these things that I can get rid of.
Nice.
Very, very awesome. And I think I have that in the lineup for the plugs afterwards too. So all the information that you need, reach out to Rogers especially if you want that double signature copy. Um, and my friend David Gloyd from Crimson Cowl Media and Crimson Cowl Comic Club, him and his son have come out with their very first printed comic, Tales from the North, The Dungeon. This came out just in time for MightyCon in Madison that we tabled at the beginning of December, middle of December. And there are free web comics of these characters that they created through David Gloyd II's RPG campaigns. So you can read the free web comics on crimsoncowl.com. But this comic, the first printed one, is an all new story. You can read it without having the other ones, but if you want a little taste of what's going on, check out crimsoncowl.com and reach out to Crimson Cowl Media wherever you find them online. Reach out to me. I can relay the information over to David. But yeah, this is their first printed comic book that they self published. So wanted to do a plug for them. But then the man of the hour, the guest here on the show, Adam Crohn. We started off by showing
Hello.
his awesome Spider Punk print. I have some other prints that we're going to take a look at here to kind of plug his big cartel shop. But yeah, you want to give us an explanation of what we're seeing over here?
So that's my favorite that I've ever. It's my favorite thing I've ever drawn right there. It was like my first attempt at a cartoon, something with dialogue, and it's from left to right or whatever. Mooj, Egum, and Mother Fluffer. Uh, Egum is my pup present. Mooj, she and I spent 15 years together, and he is named after her. It's her name backwards, Egum. And put them together, you get Moojigum, which will be the name of my book. And then Mother Fluffer. So they were both big cheeseburger fans, as probably everyone is. And the comedy is just Mother Fluffer always has like a grumpy face. She's so sweet, but they're yelling cheeseburger, 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 kind of like Gremlins when they're in the box before they change, and right before they get the chicken, you know. And she's sitting there always looking at him like, you guys are idiots. Can I just get some meow mix, please? So that was one of my first. That one and the Spider Punk and the Garfield were my first three artist prints that I attempted. Found a company that did them for cheap, and I thought I'd try. The Garfield is. I love 3D glasses. I love the 80s, and so I have a series that I do and that I started and continue to do, where I put 3D glasses on 80s characters. And what is he saying? He says, "If it's coming at me, I can eat it, right?" And Garfield's always eating. He's always eating lasagna and stuff. So yeah, I love doing that kind of thing. I'm always looking for 80s characters that I can throw glasses on. I know there's a million of them. So if you guys ever want to suggest any, just throw them at me on social media.
So yeah,
Elf, yeah.
Yeah.
Elf would
Those
look
are
pretty awesome.
those are available in my big cartel shop.
Yeah, so check out. You'll see that link somewhere in this video window right here, and then there's some stickers you can get there, like this awesome one here. I slapped right on one of my drawing boards.
Yeah,
here. There's a lot of awesome stickers
awesome
as well. So
awesome.
And then where to follow you on the social medias? What's the best way to kind of reach out with everything? You have your Patreon, YouTube.
Yeah. I've got so many Instagram accounts that I'm probably on Brads. I'm probably on yours. Like, but my main ones are AC Toy Design Instagram. AC Draw Stuff is where I draw stuff, and my personal one is just me and Moojigoom, which is just me and my animals. I do an 80s one, which is just purely for fun. Mom gave them away. So that's Instagram. If you want to support anything that I do, it's patreon.com/Adam Crohn, ADAMCROHN, where I do my podcast, You Like Toys. I post all kinds of tutorials and behind the scenes, and it's an awesome, awesome, awesome community. I'm very fortunate to have those folks at my back for years now, a lot of them. And Big Cartel Store, bigcartel.com, Adam Crohn. And what else? YouTube channel is AC Toy Design, or no? Is it AC Toy Design? Yeah. Basically, if you put my name in there, Adam Crohn, it pops up all kinds of artistic stuff, and a very bad disease, Crohn's disease, is always mixed in there as well because it's the same spelling. And so I've had that coincidence my whole life. But yeah, that's I think that's everything.
Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, it was awesome to have you on. When you were kind of talking about your Patreon, I knew I wanted to give you another platform to, introduce some of the people that enjoy watching us to find out your awesome work and everything that you do. So it was great having you on.
This was awesome, man. This was I mean, you and I have been uh real friends in real life for a while.
Yeah.
D-Brad has been a thorn in my side, but also a pleasure for a long time. And Matt, we're kind of new, so it was really awesome to
I'm on the
see all you
fence.
guys. Yeah, you're always on the fence, man. Between you, that's what I miss the most about our Tuesday shows that we used to do. It, oh yeah, is between the two of you guys being like, man, which one of these guys is gonna ruffle my feathers the most tonight? But no, it's been a pleasure. You guys are awesome. This has been really, really a lot of fun.
Excellent.
And the first time I've ever drawn anything like accomplished something in a group. It's awesome.
Looks really good. I love watercolor.
I'll get you. I'll take some like good pictures. When
Awesome.
Awesome.
see if
Yeah.
I can. I don't know if I
People that are
can.
watching will see the final art in the post credits along with the social media plugs and everything like that. So they'll see the high quality pictures or whatever you
Yeah,
said.
and I'll probably throw this in my shop when it's done. So
Very cool. All right.
Sweet.
It was great to have you on. It was great to have Troy here and Matt Fife, and it was great to have Matt Rogers be able to make it as well. It was a fun surprise to have you jump in on this episode as well because it was the most people we've ever had, the most cartoonist. So that was a lot of fun. That is going to do it for this episode. Thank you all for watching. And it's all time, let's all apply our chapstick now as well.
Yes.
I've been waiting this whole show.
That's going to do it. Let me end the show this way by zooming in on Garth.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Lasagna.
Good
Lasagna.
night.
Bye.
See ya.
Hi, Mom.
And for editing's sake,
Yagums.
Yagums. I forgot the Yagums. Oh, we're still recording. We just put the
There you
Yagums.
go. There you go.
There we go.
I'll have a blue Christmas without you. I'll be so blue just thinking about you. Decorations of red on a green Christmas tree won't be the same, dear, if you're not here with me. And when those blue snowflakes start falling, that's when those blue memories start calling. You'll be doing alright with your Christmas of white, but I'll have a blue Christmas. I feel like I should tap dance or say something sweet.
Yeah, got it. Can't get the thing closed.